Finally, what to do with those students the last day of school? Sometimes I said I would rather there would be more work involved in teaching the last day of school than an entire week earlier than that, because the kids were ready to go. And so often, so many teachers, I watched it happen again and again. They just gave up, collected textbooks, let kids sign yearbooks. I taught to the end, usually. As long as I had students in my classroom, I wanted to teach. And sometimes the kids would be amazed, like, what do you mean you're going to teach us? But I want to show you how I dealt with that, because it was tricky. You know, the kids were raring to go. One of the things I would sometimes use toward the end is a movie called School of Rock. There were so many teachers that would just put on movies for the last day, and the poor kids, in a way, they just go from classroom to classroom watching movies. Why? Well, if I showed a movie, anytime I ever showed a clip or a movie, it was with an absolute purpose to teach. Well, there's a fun movie called School of Rock. I highly recommend it. It's about, you know, I don't understand heavy metal, and I don't understand the music of the 70s and 80s. And in a way, this was the best they could do by showing the students some of this movie, School of Rock. It's delightful, about a man trying to inspiring young kids into playing rock and roll music. But if you would choose to go to it, and I did use this some, I would be sure to show the credits at the end, at the very end of the movie. That was the very best part of the movie, I thought. And I would use it sometime. I recommend it. But what I used more often was the Reduced Shakespeare Company. I would use this videotape. Now, it got me in trouble. I'll tell you about that in a little bit. But through the year, one of the things that I did so much of was taught Shakespeare. A lot. Now, over the last 2 months, not so. But so my students, they knew a lot of Shakespeare. And so they could really relate to these guys who basically claim to do all 37 of Shakespeare's plays in an hour and a half. They're comedians. And actually, the kids loved it. Why I say it got me into some trouble, and if you would choose to do this yourself as part of this course, be aware, there's a lot of body humor in here. And my students had gotten used to the idea of body humor throughout the year. I was still a little careful what I would show and what I wouldn't show. But one time I was not there for some reason, and a substitute was there, and I had the substitute do this. I think it was a woman, and I think she was a Mennonite woman. She probably knew nothing about Shakespeare. She probably, and especially body humor. Well, I heard about that from the principal, because she started to show that, and she was kind of horrified. The kids were fine with it because they were used to it. So anyway, it's funny. I highly recommend it if you've taken this course, because you also probably know a lot about Shakespeare. It's funny. All right, now, what's coming? I'm going to rest for a week or so. But I think I'm going to go on teaching online. As a matter of fact, I think I'm going to think of myself as having a school. I'm going to call it Frankskwl. And why I spell it like that, I'll eventually say. Frankskwl. I think, so far there's been one course. This has been Frank's Hum 100. Frank's Hum 100. Frank's Humanities 100. And it's to the end now. Well, if you've got one course, that's fine. But if you've got 2 or 3 courses, you could say, hey, this is a school. Well, I think I'm going to. And we'll see. I don't ever intend to teach something as hard as this, to invest an entire straight-out 180 days. My courses will be shorter. But one of the things I'll do this summer is I want to put online, I'll call it details from Frank's Tour d'Europe. That trip I took in Europe, there is so much there that I saw and that I would like to share, that I intend gradually to put that film footage online. But it'll be details. It won't be anything like you would imagine, I don't think. And I intend to teach this summer still an English course for Germans. I'm going to teach it in German. That's my intent. Wir werden sehen, ob ich Deutsch sprechen kann. Ich glaube, ja. So I'll see if I can speak German. I think I can. But I'm going to, so English speakers, I don't know if that's any use to you, but any German viewers, you might be amused to hear me try to do that. And then this coming year, I've got many things that I would like to teach. But just come back if you're interested. Now, finally, what I want to do at the end is I'm going to put one more video on, but it is not me. When I was on my European trip, I was lucky enough to stay at the home of a German couple. And in the morning, in the living room, the man was playing guitar for his own amusement and singing, and I thought that sounded really good. So I went in and I asked him, could I film him? And he said, yeah, that would be okay. And that's what I'm going to put on. I have his permission. You're going to hear a man named Thomas Hockling, Tom Hawk's band, I think is what it goes by, Tom Hawk's band, I think. But his band isn't there. He didn't know this was coming. It was in the morning and he was just playing his guitar. But anyway, he was playing a song called Roll Down, Roll Down, and I like the idea of sending you away from my course with some music. Blues and All is his channel on YouTube if you like it and you want to see more. So, that'll be 180.3, and I'm now signing off. Bye.